Good morning, boys and girls. Lesson 17, exercise 38. The posting to your general ledger from your CRJ. Your next work will be exercise 39, but I'm going to explain exercise 39 to you, and then your homework will be exercise 40, because it's the posting from your general, your cash payments journal to your ledger. All right. So let's quickly look at this one. Your cash receipts journal, you do have it in front of you. They've done it. You had to do the general ledger. So I just copied the cash receipts journal, but only the important part. So that will be bank, the total, current income, the total, and my sundry accounts, the amounts and the details. All right. So, boys and girls, remember you need to know what's an asset. An asset's got a debit and a credit side. The debit side's always plus and the credit side is always a minus. An asset is what belongs to the business. Alright, so that's going to be something like land and building, vehicles, equipment, bank, cash float, debtors, trading stock, and petty cash. But the 5 on the board is the most, the ones that we're going to use the most in grade 8. Right. Then owner's equity, remember your definition, that's your capital plus your net profit minus drawings, and your definition for net profit is income minus expenditures. Remember your owner's equity, debits minus and credits always a plus. Why? Because the business owes that money to the owner. Okay, so remember, we do not work with liabilities in grade 8. You only need to know the definitions, but liability will then also be debit minus credit plus, and that will be like a bank overdraft or a loan, but you don't have to worry about that. Alright, so if we look at this, they've asked us to do the general ledger of Acon Electrical Services, and the T accounts that they gave us is capital, because we worked with capital, a bank, current income, rent income, and your commission income. Alright, so what I want you to remember, for each debit you have a credit, for each credit we have a debit. But in this case, in grade 8, we're only going to work with a cash receipts and a cash payments journal. So for this exercise, we only have a cash receipts journal. So that means your bank's going to be debited because your bank increased. Money came into your bank account. The business bank account increased because or the owner paid money into the bank account, or somebody else came and paid money into the business bank account. And then if you've debited bank, your receipt account, the money that you've received, like capital, rent income, commission income, all those receipt accounts will be credited. Alright, so let's start with bank. Bank came to a total of 422,800 at the end of the month, so that was your total receipts. That means money was paid into your bank account, you've received money, so your bank account increased and your bank account's going to be debited. We are working with the year 2013, April, and if it is a column like your bank column, then you always post the total amount at the end of the month. Right, that will be then on the 30th. Where did we get our info from? From our cash register journal, cash register journal number 1. So May will be cash register journal number 2. June will be number 3. All right, and then the amount came to 422,800 Rand. And that's our total receipts for the month. Total receipts for the month. Right. Then, if we've received money Let's look at our first one. Oh, sorry, before we do that, can you see our folio number for bank is B2? So you have to take that B2 to your bank column. The line underneath your total, you're going to write there B2. So that means that amount was taken over to your general ledger, posted to your general ledger to account B2. Alright, so let's look at the next one, current income. Current income's folio numbers N1. So underneath your total, you'll put the N1. That means that that total amount is going to be booked, taken to your current income, and your current income, the folio numbers N1. Alright, so let's see. Your bank was debited because you've received money, and you've received money from your clients because you've rendered a service, and that's your current income. So your current income account should be credited, should be credited so that we are in balance again. So your current income account is going to be credited with 2013, April, and because it's a column, you're going to work with a total amount, so that's going to be on the 30th. Where did you get your info from? From your cash receipts journal, number 1, and the amount came to 5,800 Rand. So what did you do with that? You paid that money into your bank account, so your details will be bank. So you've received 51,800, and the amount that you've received, you've actually banked that amount, right? So your bank increased. Then you do not have columns, but you do have the sundry accounts, and in your sundry account you've got capital, rent income, capital, and commission income. So you have to go and see on what date, and on that date you'll post it to your general ledger. Right, so if you look at the first one, capital, what is your folio number for capital? B1. Can you see folio? So between your amount and your detail column, you've got your folio column, you'll put the B1 there. Alright, so that means that 350 Rand is going to be posted to B1 in your general ledger, and B1 is capital. Alright, so what happened here? The owner gave money to the business to start a business. The money was paid into your the business bank account, so the business bank account is going to increase. You're going to debit, and was debited with total receipts, and for each debit we have a credit, so your capital account will be credited with 350 Rand on the 1st of April. Okay, your sundry accounts, you'll have to go and see on what date, and then you will post it on that date to your general ledger. The money that you've received, that capital, was paid into your bank account, right? And it's cash receipts journal number 1. It stays number 1 for the whole of April. And the amount that we've received was, for capital, was 350 Rand. Okay? Then the next one is your rent income. So your tenant came and he paid 3,000 Rand into your bank account, or he came to you and you sent somebody to pay that money into the business bank account. Alright, so what happens? The bank account was debited because the bank account increased because the business received money for what? For rent income. So your rent income account will be credited with an amount of 3,000 Rand on the 5th. So now, rent income, 2013, April the 5th, the amount that we've received, we've actually banked that amount, we've entered that into our CRJ, and the amount came to a total amount of 3,000 Rand that we've received. Can you see your rent income is N2? So in your folio column, you'll write N2. So that means that 3,000 Rand was posted to the account N2, and the account N2 was rent income. Then the next one is capital again. you've received, the business received money from the owner. We paid the money into the bank account, so your bank account was debited. And then that was on the 27th. So on the 27th, our capital account will be credited with an amount of 15,000 Rand. Okay, on the 27th, the money that the business received was banked, and the total amount for that day was 15,000 Rand for capital. Alright, so what's your folio number for capital? B1. Please, boys and girls, you can't tell me that one is B1 and that one's B2. Your capital account will stay the same number. So that's going to be capital balance sheet number 1. Right, then our last one is commission income on the 30th. So your commission income, that's N3. So you're going to post 3,000 Rand to the account N3. The account N3 is commission income. So what happened? You've received money from somebody that you help, and you receive a commission from them. So the bank was increased, the bank was debited, and your receipt is going to be commission income, and your commission income account must be credited with an amount of 3,000 Rand, 2013, April the 30th. We've received money, we've banked that amount of 3,000 Rand. Now, boys and girls, when you add all your credits together, so if you take your calculator and you add the 365,000, the 51,800, the 3,000, and the 3,000. Okay, if you add that together, then you get an amount of 422,800 Rand. Can you see for each debit you had a different credit because you had different receipts? Alright, so please remember for each debit you have a credit. So every time the amount for capital, what did we do? We paid that into the business bank account. The money that we received from our clients for the service that we've rendered, that amount was paid into our bank account. The money that we've received from our attendant, 3,000 Rand, was paid into our bank account. And the money that we've received for commission was paid into our bank account. So for each debit, we had a credit, but every time it was bank, because we paid the money into our bank accounts. So we received money, and that was our total receipts. So we've received money, capital, from the owner. We've received money from our clients for the service that we've rendered. We've received money from our attendant rent income, and we've received commission income. All right, so remember, this is the basic. For each debit, you have a credit, and then I will show you in the next exercise, I will show you the ledger of your CPJ, your cash payments journal. All right, thanks a lot.